Day. We're talking about Mars energy, the action that we take, the vitality and the recharging of things. I want to say to each and every one, first of all, I want to say salutation to my madrina, to my padrino, to my Oba, and to all of my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, and Adjays. To all of my people in the church as well. I want to say also on this live, I gear myself to melanated people, but I do not teach my personal beliefs, neither my practices. I teach universal laws. Universal laws apply to any and everyone when it comes down to spirituality. One of the things that I want to talk about on today and encouraging many of you. I want to say a hello to my Pisces, my Aries, my Taurus, my Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. Hello, what's up there, Raina in the house? Thank you so much, each and every one of you guys. Thank you for hitting that like button and making sure you got your notification on. I want to talk about, I teach a lot of spirituality and I teach principles. And a lot of people feel that certain things don't apply to them because they're not in the church, they're not in the covenant, they're not initiated. But every single one of us are spirit. Every one of us have energy, frequency, and vibration. What's up, my jealous sweets in the house? I've been doing magic ever since I was a child. I'm 53 years of age. I started my ministry in 2001. I want to share some things today that are significant when it comes down to evolution, time to grow. A lot of people are getting the work not only from me but various other spiritualists. This is significant, and especially if you want to grow at other heights and levels. And my subject is about teamwork. One body, many members. And the reason I'm talking about this, and this is what I mean by being honest in spirituality. This is what I mean by communicating to people what you want. A lot of times, many melanated people and many people in ATRs are not forthcoming with their agenda or their desire, especially when they're interacting with other people, other spiritual practices, even down to churches. I've had people come to my church knowing that they wanted a position in the church so they could do their thing on my platform. And a lot of times it ain't nothing wrong with aspiring for greatness and nothing wrong with desiring to start your own business. The last thing you want to do when you out here in the spiritual journey is to create a perception about yourself that you're not truthful. I don't care if it's a relationship. I have my personal independence. And I'm going to be coming from 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter. And I hope this really finds it with home to the people that it relate to. What's up, my Boaz in the house? And it comes from 1 Corinthians 12th chapter, verse 12. It says, for as the body is one and have many members, all the members of that one body, being many, but are one also in Christ, in the I am. Now, let me explain why this is significant and important, especially when it comes to conjuring. You as an individual, when you're doing spell work, when you're doing rituals individually, outside of other people, with your own spirit, with your own spirits, own ancestors, You are able to generate only so much energy, frequency, and vibration based off your measure. And everybody does not have measures that they are basically like an army by themselves. That everybody don't have it like that. And it's not necessary to be like that in order to manifest stuff. But I do want you to have an understanding. And especially a lot of people that are in the ATRs or came from the church. Let me explain something. One can chase 1,000. Two can chase 10,000. Three can chase 100,000. And so forth. The reason why that is important, because if you don't understand what a support system is, if you don't understand the purpose of being a part of a coven, being a part of a ministry, being a part of an elay, being a part of a pack, then you're not going to really understand what it is like going up against a team. The thing I want to talk about that I feel like a lot of black people, especially people that are, you're never going to earn the trust of a man or woman in a that is over a group of people until you understand family. A lot of us like to tailor ourselves as the black sheep. We like to act like nobody supports us. Just like it took a man and a woman to get you here, it takes more than one person to get stuff done a lot of times. For a business to be successful, you got to have a clientele. You got to have customers. In order for a country to be what it is, they have to have citizens. In order for certain successes to take place, this is why the scripture says God will cause men, M-E-N, to give unto your bosom. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Men is talking about mankind. There's a plethora of people that are going to be allotted to you for support. This is why we holler about certain communities, the spiritual community, the gay community, the financial community, husband and wife community. Anything, you have a group of people of like mind that you draw from. In our particular thing, we have the tribe. We have saints. And the reason I'm talking about this, because when it comes to Ocha, it comes to Palo, a lot of these ATRs, certain man is ancestral. It is a unit of spirits that in operation in a particular, whether it's hoodoo, voodoo, it don't matter. I need you to understand that. When you come and initiate or you become a part of a body of people, you also benefit from the energy that that body of people generate. And when a lot of time when people walk away from an elay or a tribe or a coven or a congregation, you do not take that energy that all those people that are a part of that help to amass. Not only you need to understand energetically that the more people involved in something, the more ache, the more chi, the more prana that is involved in the ceremony, the prayer, or the working. You understand? I can't even remember how. I I think it's 4 or 5 years now with Padrino, the 1.5 now. If you gonna get involved into something, you have to learn that if you want to be an individual, it's like your organs. Your organs individually operate, but it operates also and at the same very time in the consistency of the body. You have an organ, you have a heart, you have a liver, you have a kidney, you have your certain other organs in your body that function, but it all works together for the one body. The left hand is an individual, but it operates for the right hand, and so forth. This is important for you to understand as you traveling this spiritual journey. If you're not there to earn your place in a group of people, you're not going to benefit from that energy that those group of people generate. You need to understand, a lot of y'all get involved into stuff and you don't understand. You have to participate in what you say you believe in. Don't initiate. Don't call yourself a friend to somebody that you don't understand the law of reciprocity, reciprocation, how energy flows in. That's even in the church we learn about group prayer. The amount of energy that flows in a group versus you as an individual. This is why a lot of people decline or they fall from a certain state because of the fact that they're no longer a part of that group, that coven, that elect, because you're not tapping into that energy of all your brothers and sisters. This is important, that there are certain blessings that people be petitioning for, that it takes a group of people to be a part of that. When you hear the terminology collective, that means more than one, a group of people on one accord, so to speak. And you need to understand that ATRs are not something you can go like Home Depot and you buy parts. You don't have to be a licensed plumber. You don't have to be a licensed electrician to buy plumbing parts or electrical parts. But to process business, you have to have a plumbing license or an electrical license. This is important for people to understand. I have people that think they can buy certain spiritual artifacts outside of being initiated or being a part of a coven or being a part of an elect. Because what I try to explain to black people and melanated people, Orishas, cauldrons, and pungos are the spiritual principles of energy transference. Your Orisha has to be born of another Orisha. Your cauldron has to be born of another cauldron. Somebody, not only you got to have the money for it, but somebody got to trust you to give you a portion of that said Orisha energy or that cauldron. It's the same thing when you seeking the spirit. You got to build a relationship where that spirit can trust you to impart or empower you with a portion of that said spirit. When it comes down to spirituality, understand you have to build a relationship with a said group of people or a certain elay or a certain congregation or coven before they start giving you stuff out of that coven. And when they give you things out of that, remember, you cannot replicate what you've been given because it will birth you through the spirit of that coven or the spirit of that elay or the spirit of that ministry or the spirit of that tribe. I talked about this a couple of days ago about getting understanding. A lot of people think, I shouldn't even say a lot of people, but they think they are being hindered. Being a part of something that you want to be trusted with a certain energy, a certain frequency, a certain authority, a certain status. You got to understand, you got to work your way up. Work your way up with team players. I've never seen so many people that are not people people persons, and they want to grow in a business. They want to grow in a coven or elay. You have to learn how to interact with people. Everybody don't have to see it your way. You can't do stuff for a short time and think you're going to turn around and get people to do things for you that other people have proven themselves of. And that's true in the elay. That's true in the ATRs. It is not just true with human beings. It's also true with spirits. There are so many. I have a cartoon. I don't know, some of y'all, I'm a 70s baby. And this particular cartoon was called Voltron. And Voltron had 5 lions. And each one of the pilots of those lions had to be trained, had to be trusted, to be given the keys to operate those lions. Everybody could not be the head lion, that's the black lion, the blue, the green, and the yellow. This is important when it comes down to spirituality, knowing where you fit in, knowing what type of member you are of that local coven, that local congregation, the elay. I've seen people think that people are just going to give you something because you want something. If you're not a part of something, then why would you expect them to give you certain things if you ain't earned? The same thing I tell people about when it comes, especially they come out of church. God is a rewarder of them that diligently seek them. Everybody ain't a star player on the team. And this is the thing. Don't make yourself insignificant because you're not one of the main organs. You're still a part of the body. It seems like we got to constantly like babysit people for their personal responsibilities that they have because they became a part of something. If you don't want to be a part of something, then you're not going to get the benefits. There's people I claim to be a part of the Ocha community or the Voodoo community. You don't support none of that. How can you be a part of something, associate yourself with something, and not support it? And you're expecting those people or those people involved in that particular community to invest back into you. That ain't how it works. Don't let nobody fool you. that if you're going to be a part of, and like in my church, in my ministry, in my with my tribe, we have membership. Membership gives you a certain access. You don't have to, once you're a member or something, you have certain assets, which is important, which means you have a certain level of energy when we interact in our group. How much you learn, how much you evolve because you got more than one person participating in commentary. How many times your perception is enriched because of the commentary, or the sharing of knowledge, or the sharing of wisdom, or the sharing of experience. Do not take that lightly. I wouldn't be going. I wouldn't be rising to the occasion if I was out here by myself. I may be on this live by myself, but I'm not by myself. And I'm not just talking about spiritually or the spirits. I'm talking about people that I'm connected to. This is important. Let me tell y'all something. You don't ever want to be caught in life. And I tell my kids, and I've been telling this for years, this is the cold world. To be caught in this world by yourself is not good. I don't care what your personality is. Somebody can relate to your personality or your behavior. You should never be here, especially in the spiritual community. Especially when you are trying to accomplish certain things. It is so important, sir and ma'am, that you have other people that got eyes on your situation other than you. They got eyes on your business other than you. They got eyes on your relationship other than you. They got eyes on your soul other than you. Because what you don't hear or you see or you don't feel or pick up, somebody else is in there able to process what you're going through. Do not, how did I say this? Because if you want to grow as a team player, not just knowing who you are in that team, but also understanding how you maneuver and interact with your other members, your other team players. Do not think that you can learn everything you need to learn by yourself. That's not possible. I hear people talk about the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that I have. Do you know how many people have poured into me over the years since a child? How many rivers that flowed in my waters that made me the large body of water that I am today? This is so important. When you're a part of something, stay consistent. Whatever your role is, stay consistent. Understand that you're building up equity in that elate, that covenant, that congregation over a period of time. And what goes around comes around. But if people don't trust you and you're in and out individual, then you can't not expect full-time benefits when you are a part-time member. Gain an opportunity to understand how you operate in the ministry. And I was using that example about Voltron. Not only did they have to be trained to operate the individual lines, but they had one person that could call them to assimilate as Voltron. There's certain people that have the ability to call the masses together, to call people together, where they assimilate together. One mind on one accord, working for one thing, decreeing one thing, speaking one thing. This is why in the February, we're constantly seeing different people, whether social media or news broadcaster, heighten the contribution of the collective of Black people. We benefit from the collective, even though we as an individual may not have participated in that said event. We as an individual don't have the ancestry tie to that said event that took place, but we benefit because it impacts us as a collective. And that's what I want y'all to understand when it comes to magic. It starts multiplying, magnetizing, growing, because more than one. It's like when you got a group of people, say for instance you had 100 people and they gave all of $5 versus you were looking for one person to give. But when a collective give, they can give a small portion and it still add up to a whole lot. This is why Moses called the people to give to the temple, because everybody gave out of their house or their tent and allowed Moses and them to have the things that they need. Never undermine your giving and your support. You don't have to do what other people do, but do your part. And when all that come together, that allows you, the person that's orchestrating the situation, to be able to do more because you have a lot of people pouring into that situation. The same thing is true when it comes down to a coven. The same thing is true when it comes down to a congregation. You can't walk into a congregation for a week and then start putting certain demands on the congregation to do for you. You haven't paid your dues, so to speak. You haven't, like the scripture said, you ain't been faithful over another man's house. I really I want us to understand, especially in the month of February, why each individual person impacts the body of voodoo, the body of Ifa, the body of Christianity, the body of spirituality. Our contributions apply into these ATRs, help people to believe what is possible. But it's a collection of people. It is not just one individual. It's not one journey. There are many paths, even down to the Orisha, the Impungo. There are so many paths that you can go down and still interact with that energy. Just like the veins in your body. There's many paths to get to your heart, to get to your brain, to get to your legs. That's why they're called veins. In some cultures, they're called meridians. They're the flow path of energy, frequency, and vibration in your body. When you want to develop a bigger out, I'm gonna say, when you want things to increase a lot faster, the support of other people that are part of what you're doing can make you get to your journey a whole lot faster. Don't take out time trying to be such an individual. When people see my Elay case, and I started going through my ceremonies, and I started realizing how many people had to participate in the ceremony, that in order for me to receive a particular Orisha, the time, the expertise, and the willingness to see someone acquire something takes a group of people. It takes people in that body of influence to garner other people. When the Bible said that Yahshua said, if I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. Everybody don't have that draw. Everybody don't have that pull. Everybody don't understand. And I feel like a lot of times you want to skip steps. You want people to invest in what you're doing, but you are not really supporting. A team work will make a dream work. A lot of times you don't see certain people fall. And I say this even about Donald Trump, President Trump. You attacking one man, but you're omitting his support system. I don't care whether you like somebody or don't like somebody, whether you participate in what they're doing. When they have a strong support system, it's going to be hard for them to fall. A team that's at work, even in politics, and I'm thinking about Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. They done got a whole super PAC to come against her. A team of people. This is what y'all don't understand, not only spiritually, but even when it comes to racism. It's a team. It's a system. When a storm is coming, it's a system. It's a collection of elements that are creating this particular storm, this particular type of storm. If you are in warfare and you got a pack of people working against you, that's very different than when you're battling against somebody of a singular nature. And the energy come different. It hit different. It manifests different. And I want y'all to understand that there's certain growth that you need is only going to come from the collective. Is from a tribe, a coven. Thank you. How do I say this? In workings, and I'm able to garner a lot of energy because of what was poured into me over a long period of time. And a lot of times when you show up on the scene, people only see, thank you so much, nothing but true. People see you as the individual. You're not going to bring somebody down. And you're not going to see somebody up if they don't have help, if they don't have a team, if they don't have a system, if they don't have certain levels of support. Numbers of support versus who are really applying their hands to the plow. It's no different than God with the story about Gideon. He had, when it's all said and done, he only had 300 men to go to war. But all of Israel benefited. That's what I mean by the collectives. That's mean the thing that Black American people or Black people in general did before I came into this timeline. I'm a part of that impact. When we talk about the music industry or different those athletes that impacted certain types of sports, that means as a collective, we see the achievement of an individual. But there were many people along the way that helped that person get there. And that's why you see even down the movie star, when people get up, they got to thank all these people, even though they're receiving the award. But all these people had a hand in getting them to that place, whether it's an agent, whether it's other actors or other teammates. It's a collection of people. If my melanated people can understand that we exist and we function at the behest of the support of people of our particular faith, our particular working, our particular endeavor, or things that we're doing in life. When we have that support, let me say that. I want Black people to understand something about Caucasian. They're going to support each other. That's whether they like each other. White people don't have to like each other to support the cause. The reason why we have so much division, we think that because we're not being affected in our minds by something, that we shouldn't support it. As you grow, you're going to learn more and more how spirituality, how it is a part of everything that we're doing. That's from your job, your business, that's from your relationship, that's from your children, that's from the school system, that's from politics, that's around the globe. All about energy, frequency, and vibration. They may call it resources. The minerals in the earth is still energy, frequency, and vibration. But there's a team of people that are pushing an individual or a team of individuals to get certain things done. And white people will support. Latino people, and I'm just telling you the truth, I don't care if it's spiritually or naturally. The reason why their businesses are not failing, because they're going to support. They don't even have to believe completely. Thank you so much for the $5. They don't necessarily have to believe in everything that the person up front is saying. They still going to support it for the cause. Imagine what melanated people could become in a very short time, because there's definitely enough of us, and that's even to the ones that are not even fully entrenched into the HRs. If we were really out here supporting one another like that, and let me tell y'all something, I'm a child that came from support. I did not, out of every mistake or decision I didn't think through, because I had support, I never had to hit the ground. That's how strong support is. I'm a Black American man that grew up with a lot of support. Different kinds of support. Spiritual and natural. If anybody could encourage you why you shouldn't be out here trying to be an island unto yourself. If anybody can encourage you, why you shouldn't be out here as a lone wolf. If anybody can tell you how you should not be walking alone in this spiritual journey, because it's too much to get into, and it's too much to happen that you ain't got no team. And there's a point where we all get tired. Who gonna take over, or who gonna move in position when you get tired, when you need to rest? This is what we have to endeavor for our melanated people to understand. No, you may not do what I do, but if you're getting information and things to help you, then support it. And we really appreciate that support. That's why I think everybody, no matter what I'm doing, and even when I was going through my health situation, that's before I even came out of the situation. I was thanking people because I knew it was a collection of people that God had utilized to get me where I am. I want y'all to understand that. A teamwork. Though you be one body, there's many members. And you don't know which part of those members are going to step in at what time. This is why we have more than one ancestor. We have a spiritual team that comes with us and allow us to function where we are. And my job is to become a beacon of light that a lot of melanated people and people in general that are trying to understand magic, energy, and frequency and vibration. And there are certain doors are not going to open up for you until you understand that concept. The moment you fly high because of the, and we see it in history, when people start losing their support, they start declining. You don't want to lose your support. You don't want to injure your team. You don't want to be a person that is a part of something and don't understand why you're a part of it and how you can actually benefit from being a part of that particular team or that particular community. It's hard to destroy somebody when a lot of people fighting for them. It's hard to ruin a business when you got a lot of people supporting. When we come together as a collective, there's so much more can be done. There's so much knowledge, more knowledge that can be given. But if you're only hanging around to glean the grass, so to speak, like Ruth, if you're unfortunate, that's fine. But if you're fortunate enough to be able to do and support something, please do that. Because when you start losing people because of lack of support, because it's a lack of understanding, because a lot of us, we depending on what we feel that we're getting out of something right then, we don't see the purpose of supporting it. I was telling people last year about a lot of this stuff that was coming down the pipeline. And a lot of people did not respond until it actually happened. I'm a person I'm very proactive. Whether it's coming to magic, spirituality, business, I'm very about being proactive and getting ahead of things. Push myself in a position where I can slow the efforts of people or situations. I want to encourage you today to understand that when you're a part of the ATRs, you're a part of a community. When you are part of, you're a melanated person, you are part of something. This is why, whether you hear from anybody, why it's so offensive when we know that you're melanated and you're rejecting the fact that you're black. Even though we know black, we really copper, brown. But the concept of being a black man or a black woman and the negative stereotypes, all of this negativity that came to the ATRs, that came about with voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi. It wasn't one person. It was an effort by a team of people. That's why it has been so effective, and that's why it has lasted as long as it has. There is a system that Black Americans are fighting and have been fighting in this country. And when they hear you deny your blackness, it's offensive. It's offensive when you benefit off of the foundation of the collectives that took their time and applied themselves, whether it's about voting, whether it's about jobs, whether it's people in different timelines contributed to a lot of things that we're benefiting, and now we got to fight for that. Our forefathers and foremothers actually fought for some of these things, died for some of these things, and now it's being challenged. And when people don't understand the collective, and you feel safe because you are higher on the tree, if they chop the tree down, it don't matter how high you are on the tree, you're gonna fall like everybody else on that tree gonna fall. When you understand that no matter where you are on the body, that you're gonna be affected, it doesn't matter if the heart is in failure, it don't matter if the kidney in failure, it don't matter if the liver in failure. If they go, the whole body goes. When somebody is coming for you, and this is why, even down to the lynching, this is why I have so much compassion. It don't have to happen to my loved ones, that's somebody close to me, for me to be impacted by it. You don't have to be the person that has received that type of suffering and that type of affliction for you to have a heart to understand how impactful it is. Whether it's happening in the north part of United States of America, whether it's happening in the South, it don't matter. It impacts us all. And we need to understand that when they say a collective trauma, a collective way of thinking, because we have to become unified with the understanding what the unification is for. And it shouldn't matter to you where you fit in as a member. Because if you're melanated, you're a part of the fight. And when the call is made, participate. We all got to sacrifice. We all got to give up of ourselves for the team to work. And we turn around a lot of this stuff, especially us in the spiritual community. And I'm going to say this again. I'm a Santero, I'm a Tata and Kisi, I'm an apostle, a chief apostle, a conjurer, a mystic, a necromancer. When we all come together with one mind, on one accord, the things that are possible increase exponentially when the masses get involved. I see my brothers and sisters, even when I got into the Ocha, I went and got crowned twice. And the unification is still culturally. There's a segment that is not together, and namely Black Americans. The same mentality you have in your family, the same mentality you have outside of your family, is what you're going to face when you get into these ATRs. If melanated people, whether hoodoo, voodoo, Santeria, if melanated people decide, whenever we come to the conclusion that it's certain things are not going to take place, and we as a spiritual community can come together and make these changes, the reality changes for us. We can learn a lot from our adversaries. We can learn a lot from people that are successful, especially over a long period of time. You should never expect the seed to do what the tree can do. If you got something you just sowed the seed, you're not expecting it to bear fruit because it has not even developed yet. Magic is the same way. This is why you hear people of all different types of faith in the ATRs talk about how long they've been into their particular craft, how they've grown and evolved. This particular thing that I just was coming through with my health, I have grown in leaps and bounds. I have learned things that I did not know. I've been made aware of things I've never considered. And it changes the way you practice, the way you utilize your energy, your frequency, and your vibration. And it also taught me to have more gratitude for the level of support that I have. I appreciate each and every person that tune in, that come and get the replays, that support my website, that support the things that I do, that gives me likes and shares and comments behind my videos. That all pays off over time. That puts you in a position over time. There's different aspects of generational wealth. When you are sowing certain seeds and that thing begin to grow, and it may not be as tall as the next man or woman's tree, but it's a tree. It may not be as fertile or green as the next man or woman's tree, but it's still green. And that's what I'm learning too, to appreciate the things you already got, the things that you already accomplished, the things that you already obtained. And it allows you to get in a position to be more grateful for the things that are to come. I want to say this. Hold on. Got some block thoughts. I want to say this. If you did not grow up or you were not aware of your support system, or you didn't call the things that people were doing and you never viewed it as support. I want to say to you, when you grown, nobody got to do nothing for you. So appreciate anything, a ride, a bit of wisdom, um, speaking on your behalf, praying on your behalf, like from the little things to the bigger things. That's support. That support of spiritualists getting out here and sharing their knowledge, wisdom, understanding, sharing their services. Because if you ever get caught out here, and I pray that you don't experience that. But I know some people, and that's why you looking and you reaching out. When you start reaching out of yourself, that's your way of acknowledging you can't do it by yourself. That's why I don't even talk like that. This journey, these paths, and these ATRs are treacherous. And anytime somebody can avoid you from going through something, anytime somebody can help you get aware of something, anytime somebody can help you get to your destination quicker and more sturdy, be thankful for that. That's support. I thank God for my support. I thank God for my team. I thank God for the members that I have that work my team. I thank God for each and every one of you that support me. I don't take none of that for granted. Because I know how I'm able to do the things that I do because of that support. I'm able to reach further. I'm able to reach deeper because of that support. And that's why I bring back the harvest to the collective. Because you need to see why you supporting something. The benefits of why you support and why you strengthen the hand of people that are giving you the things you need, that are helping you see your way through situations and circumstances. I like this. I'm burning some Blockbuster incense. In my closing about a team, I am an individual that has a team of spirits, a team of support. And I constantly hear, after I go to them, if that would have been somebody else, they would have never made it. And I'm really grateful for my team. I'm really grateful for my support. Understand, in order to grow, you have to have a support team. If you're a part of something, do what you can. Do what you must. But understanding that if it wasn't for that support team, how much more pressure and how much stress you would be in your given situation. And that's what I have learned. I'm 53 years old. I thank God for my support. I thank God for the things that have worked out in my behalf as quickly as it has. I want y'all to be encouraged about a team, what that consists of. And if you're not going to be a part of a team, don't look for the benefits of that team. I prove myself I like what Demetrius has said. He said, Apostle, either you the hardest working man in country. And I'm gonna tell you something. When I got to a place where I needed to rest, that hard work pays off. I'm gonna say this again. The work that I have put into my spiritual walk, the work that I put into my ministry, my website, and anything that pertains to me, the harvest, it pays off. Energy in, energy out. Because I believe that if I sow something, I'm going to reap something. And this is what allows many people that have this mindset to be successful. Thank God for your support. Thank God for your team. Thank God for your elect. Thank God for your covenant. Thank God for your congregation. Thank God for your family support. And do not minimize the support of your family, even y'all don't get along. Nobody likes everything and anything their family members do. They're members. But if they give you a helping hand in any way, that's still support. If they consider you in any way, that's still support. And be grateful for that. All right? Thank God for my chief and my child. I know that's right, boo. I thank God for y'all as well. This this was an attempt to encourage people how to not only get out here, but stay out here. You're not gonna do this alone. You got people that have to believe in what you're doing and are actually lay their hands to the plow, so to speak, and support what you're doing. I don't care what it is. If you understand that, then you understand the responsibility of being a part of a team. God bless you. I want to thank God once again for my Petrina. Thank you for hitting that like button. Thank you for the shares. Thank you also for the super chat. Thank you for being a part of this particular platform. And thank you for your support of my website. And you still are the hardest working man in country. You deserve to reap some of what for yourself as well. Thank you, Demetri. I really appreciate that, my Gemini. This is important out here. I worry about certain people that are trying to walk this walk and they're doing things and they're not doing things that are going to cause them to have unnecessary stress and pressure. It's simply because they don't respect the team and they don't know how to, they're not allowing themselves to be a proficient member of a particular body or covenant. That's important. I didn't get here because I wasn't a doer. I'm not a taker. I'm a doer. And it has allowed me to be in spaces and places that a lot of people don't have. And even in my recuperating stage, God been showing up and showing out. All right. Thank you so much. Don't forget once again to hit that notification and also, sir and ma'am, hit that like button. And thank you for your shares and thank you for your support.